Hi, I'm Deborah Feldman, author of Unorthodox, and you've got to go your own way. I was raised in the Satmar sect of Hasidic Judaism in a community based out of Williamsburg, Brooklyn. I was completely closeted away from everything that is wonderful about Manhattan, and I lived in a little bubble on the other side of the river where I had no access to information, I had no secular education, I wasn't allowed to read books, watch TV or movies, listen to music, or play sports. My life consisted of preparing for my ultimate role as a mother and a contributor to the community. I was 17 when my marriage was arranged, and it felt like I was killing myself because I was going directly against my will. That gave me low self-esteem because I had to look into the mirror and see a person who couldn't stand up for themselves. My son was born when I was 19, and as he grew older, I started to get scared about raising him in the community because the lifestyle for young boys was so grueling and their lives were so prescribed and so gloomy. And I felt really guilty as a mother inflicting that on an innocent child. So I decided that I needed to expand my horizons. And to me, the first step felt like getting an education. It felt like going to school. I started sneaking out while my husband was at work. And no one knew where I was. They thought I was going shopping and I was sitting in classes. My whole personality began to change. I started to feel empowered because I was being surrounded by other women who were fearless, who didn't have to live with the kind of oppression I was living with. And nobody was striking them with lightning. And if they weren't being punished, I started to think that maybe I could live this life and not be punished either. So the next day I rented a car and I packed it with as much stuff as I could fit, and I picked my son up from preschool and I started a new life. I kind of knew what the reactions would be from my family. So when I left, I threw my phone in the Hudson River and I didn't want anyone contacting me or finding out where I lived. I feel like I stood up in a very quiet room and I said something shocking, and people were taken aback. But then, people stood up and joined me. And more people reach out to me and say they have so much in common with me, and I no longer feel like a freak or an anomaly. I'm just another New Yorker.